tragedy. Tragedy that most other people are not willing to make comedy about. That's what we do. We're stroking our shit, right? Fucking hey, what were we talking about? Fuck me. People who truly appreciate comedy and who truly do use it as a therapy. It's probably people who are serious for a lot of the day. And I'm thinking back to the grunts that I served with and the pilots that I served with. You know, all the pilots, their job was enormously stressful. And fucking birds go down all the time, especially helos. And so it's like everybody knows someone who has, who's died flying. You know, at some point in your career, everybody knows someone who has died. Because fucking birds go down. That's what my F-18 pilot used to say to me. Before we would go do shit, he would say, birds go down, man. It's not that funny. And this other dude was fucking hella irreverent. He was an Apache pilot. He was, not Apache, Cobra, sorry. And he had done like 4 combat deployments. And he was amazed he made it out alive. And then he was coming with us, he was a FAC. And now he's going on helicopter missions with us. Call sign Shrek. He was just like, no, I'm over this shit. Like I've deployed 4 times to hard combat as a fucking attack pilot. And like that shit, pilots' experiences is nuts. Like especially in Iraq, Afghanistan, constantly flying fucking missions. They get beat up mentally. It's like their job is so unfucking believably serious. It's ridiculous. It's so serious and it's so technical. Like they have to focus their entire mind a certain way in order to be one with the bird, to truly understand their vehicle, their weaponry. And so when they're not being super serious, they are being completely fucking irreverent. And they are doing the exact opposite of what they're doing all day for their job, when they allow themselves a moment to not be serious, to be irreverent. And I've watched them use it as a therapy. And that's like when a couple pilots get together and they're just complete goofs. Like no one can be serious. And they'll just say the wackiest shit and do the wackiest things. Not moments later, but like the next day. And they're the complete opposite of that. They're just really serious, cold, no time for emotions or feelings. You know, like no, we're on the fucking job, you know. I really appreciate that dichotomy because I relate to it. And you know who also I experienced this with was EOD. EOD techs are fucking nuts. Nuts! Oh my God. That whole fucking community, that's one of my favorite communities in the Marine Corps. There's so many fucking bitches in the grunts. Sorry guys, there are. It's disgusting. It's like, how do they get in? Like, how's their process that bad? I digress. The community of EOD guys, they're all high performers, highly competitive in everything. Like they're always competing to be the funniest guy in the room and to be the wittiest. It's a constant competition of alpha males who are all alpha because of their brains and their courage. And it's not all physical, although they're filled with physical specimens. And doing the actual job is, that's all mind. Oh man. You know, the brotherhood and the camaraderie was so hardcore in the EOD community, as I've seen it. It's fucking crazy. You know, any guy who's working in an EOD company, like, who's been there a while, they know half the guys there, because there's only a couple places you can go as techs. So they all know each other. They have decades of fucking companionship. That's fucking insane. And they've watched so many of their bros go down. Like, Jesus fuck, I was talking about birds coming out of the sky. Techs blowing into the sky. How many? It's fucking nuts. And they just keep making a joke about it and keep on pushing on. This helicopter needs to get the fuck out of my AO immediately. What are you doing, bro? I live on a lake. This shit echoes. Anyways, so these techs, they're just super cool. I'm thinking about how I've seen people watch Vet TV's stuff, you know, holding their phone out and just fucking dying with laughter and just sitting there and then just like, doing one of these. Like, God, it felt good to laugh that hard, you know? And I'm thinking about how I have felt that with some of Vet TV's work, with Christopher Michael, a writer-director, my best friend, watching Monday Night Combat.
Hey, about time we got some movement on offense.
There's Grady sending his studs in motion. Oh no, this play's gonna get intercepted.
Yep, Grady telegraphed it. Oh, and another tough situation for the 82nd. Edut and Mo have run a successful ambush here tonight. There, right there. Dunzo.
There it was.
Would you look at that, Al? Grady has been denied fire support.
While Grady's a stat sheet stuffer, his Achilles heel his entire career has been his fire mission completion rate.
Jesus Christ. Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder are still out there for an encore.
Can someone please tag them already?
Wham! He took that one to the chest. And here comes the Taliban Kasavek. You know, I can't help but giggle when I see that little wheelbarrow. Well, now they're applying aid, so they're technically untouchable until the casualty's gone.
Well, that's right, John. Rules of engagement state that you can't fire on an enemy combatant while they're applying aid.
Well, what are we doing with our lives here?
That's my favorite thing that I think we've ever made, because it's the most irreverent. It doesn't matter if it is atrocious, if it's terrible, tragic. We can and we will make a joke about it. We will find a way. That's what we need. That's the brilliance of what we do. Is we can take something serious, highly fucking serious, and present it to you in a way where some of you are gonna fucking laugh about it, right? And if we can do that, we have achieved our goal. That is I think, one of the most powerful things that we can offer as a business to our community is that laughter for a few minutes when nobody else was willing to go there. Like, when you think about all of the content that there is out there on Netflix and Hulu and wherever, like, there's a lot of shit out there. Netflix is putting out fucking God knows how many a week. And a lot of it's fucking garbage, just saying. But you have a lot of options. And we, Vet TV, the option that we're going to provide you with is the option to laugh at the most inappropriate things. It's the same reason why people are just dying for Chappelle, because he's willing to go there, to go to any place and make a joke. Doesn't matter the tragedy. He's choosing tragedy, right? You think, look at how he was raised. He was raised really well by two loving parents in nice neighborhoods his whole life. He's making a choice to make comedy out of tragedy that most other people are not willing to make comedy about. That's why he's so fucking valuable. That's what we do. And that sense of that comedy can provide a therapy, right? We're not making things to make fun of suicide victims or the ideations. Well, no, we are. We absolutely will make fun of ideations. We're not just doing it to make fun of it. We're doing it because we acknowledge the tragedy. And that's the difference. We acknowledge the tragedy. I have wondered if I was transgender for many years. And this was a chance to take a role that really forced me to confront some of my own issues and really work through them, confront them, have to just deal. And I did. And it was really good for me. And now I know that I'm straight. I had to go there to know for sure. And when it came to the next script I want to write, it's really just about re-exploring that character for others who might be feeling that and experiencing that. This is our opportunity to explore that part of life, which is very tragic, which is why we choose to make a joke about that concept, to make a parody of transgender. But it emanates from me. I've been wondering for years. I mean, just look at my Facebook. I've been dressing in drag since, I want to say 2002, actually in college. You guys remember. I was fucking hot as fuck, and I did feel sexy. And I realized, I think that's when I knew I was a lesbian. I was a woman, but I loved all those sorority chicks. So I think that's really what I learned. I'm a lesbian. So now I need to make a parody of that experience, and I'll talk to some of my family and get more insight into the experience. And we're gonna create some stuff, some more calm. Anyways, you know what that whole little last bit was about? That was about, as I was saying the words, we relate to the experience. We're not just doing it to make fun of it. We're doing it because we acknowledge the tragedy. I thought to myself, oh my God, what if somebody called me out and was like, oh, really? So you relate to the transgender experience? Because you made a parody of that. That's what was going through my head just now. I was basically sticking my own cock in my own mouth and doing a bit to make a joke of how I really just felt like an asshole just then. I felt like full of shit. Because here I am about to talk about how we're making comedy out of the military experience and all this tragedy that we've experienced. And I realized, no, I didn't. I made a joke about that, a parody of that too. So yeah, what a fucking hypocrite. But here's what I will say. I do want to be a lesbian for a bit longer. I do want to continue with the transgender character. So this is what I propose. I would love to do it in a way that wasn't just blatantly shitting on anyone. I want to do it in a way that you guys could laugh. And I'm speaking to transgenders right now. To all of you transgender individuals, if you follow me, if you're a fan, I love you. I appreciate you, your fellowship. If you're not, I don't care about you. I'm just kidding. But I do appreciate your support if you're out there, because I know some of you are out there actually. Yeah, I want to talk to you guys about your experiences, and I want to recreate them and parody them in a manner that we can all laugh at. Not just us straight guys, although I really am a lesbian. Like deep down. So therefore, it needs to be a conversation with you all. And for those of you who are like super uptight and can't make comedy, can't see the comedy in your own tragedy, well then don't fucking reach out to me, because I'm not going to respond to you. Just being very real here. But those of you who are comedically inclined and can see the comedy in your tragedy, please reach out. And I'd love to have a conversation with you, because I do want to write a show about Donna as a senior drill instructor. She's a senior hat in a platoon, and I want it to be a hysterical comedy. I want to have I want Jessica to be one of my fellow drill instructors, and we're just mean ass bitches. Like, we crush these chicks, like crush them. But our platoon like wins drill every year or every cycle, and like we're the best at everything. We have the hardest recruits. We also have the most suicidal ideations because we're the hardest on them. But like they're proud to be like, I want to celebrate fucking badassery as drill instructors, right? Celebrate that. But it comes at a price. And the price is weakness must go away. Because as we all know, weakness kills. So we will celebrate that. We'll parody the transgender experience. I want to show the way the other drill instructors treat her sometimes, like even though she feels like she's getting close to them, she'll still have a moment where she sees them talking shit about her, and it fucking hurts her so bad. And so I want like one scene, like every episode, where Donna is going to mercilessly beat the fuck out of a couple people, or just like knock them out or smack them. And I want it to be sometimes her coworkers, who, when she catches them talking shit, she confronts them and she smacks the fuck out of them or beats the fuck out of them. And sometimes she goes to like hit him in the ribs and shit so that the other drill instructors so that she gets away with it, basically. But she like looks around, like, you know, like, what did you fucking say to me? And then put her hand up and punch the other female drill instructor right in the gut. Like, you want to fucking talk shit about me, bitch? And like tug her bun and like threaten her fucking life. And like get them scared. So the drill instructors are fucking hella scared of her. And then she fucks up the recruits too, because she sees the recruits talking shit too. Fucks them up. Like kicking them in the stomach and in the kidneys and shit. Like, I'm gonna keep it hardcore and funny as fuck. Like, just think Shameless meets Eastbound and Down. That kind of shit. Meets Full Metal Jacket. That's what the fuck I'm talking about kind of show, right? But then the character, like, what's her flaw? Is that she's so fucking emotional that she falls for one of the recruits every week. And ends up, this is where I start to lose some people here, but hear me out. She has sex with one of them every week. It's a new one every week, where she, because here's the thing, because Donna, she is a woman, but she hasn't had full conversion surgery yet because she's scared to death of the surgery and what might happen. But she feels like a woman. And she feels like she can only love women. Like, she looks at women like they're just the most beautiful things on the planet Earth. And she looks at men just like they're just bros. But she's a woman. I think deep down she knows she's going to get the surgery someday. But she's always putting it off. It's this constant thing each week that she's got to deal with. But in the meantime, getting dome feels really good. And having sex with these recruits feels really good. So that's her flaw. And the recruits, and this is coming from female Marines I've spoken to, the recruits are so fucking horny while they're there. Like, so unbelievably, brutally horny that they're still willing to do Donna. What if you were a female recruit in the unit and your drill instructor is transgender and she's like kind of hot, but she's also was a badass dude at one point? And wait, she still is. She is willing to have sex with you. And as a transgender individual looking for love and falling in love each week with a new recruit, because they're so fucking horny. They see past all that. And they just do it just because they just want a bone, just once. Just got a bone. And that's the show. And here's the thing too, is that her best friend is a transgender individual who was formerly male. What's the fucking word? Transitioned. Thank you for that. Transitioned to female. I want her to be best friend, but she's out of the military. I think that'll provide a funny context. She's out of the military, and so they have this great relationship where they're just friends, but they hook up all the time. I think that'd be so fucking funny. And so this is a show that I would like to write after this next iteration of A Grunt's Life. This is something that I'm thinking of, because I only have the bandwidth for a few roles and a few projects, and it's just like I might as well go fucking big, you know? It's like A Grunt's Life and whatever this show is, if I can get it off the ground. One of the messages that I want to come along with the show to a lot of the dudes in our community is just like, just stop hating. Because, I mean, I'll admit, yeah, it's a little weird talking to a transgender individual. At first, depending on the dynamic, probably because most of the ones that I was talking to were all sex workers. That's probably, oh, look at me. I have this image of them that is so terrible. Shame on me. Shame. And so I want military dudes to like see that influence and be like, yeah, you don't need to just accept people. Like, it's just fucking whatever. But what I also want to say with the show is no unfair treatment. Like, pick one and be treated as such. And no, nothing extra for you. Nothing extra. You are equal to everyone else. You are not better and you are not worse. You're fucking equal. No one should get better treatment for anything. Color, gender, fucking maybe age, I don't know. Maybe being white male, that should count for something, right? So, anywho's, this is a show that I want to get off the ground, and I want it. You know, I want to make statements with this fucking show about their struggle, how terrible they are treated. Maybe we shouldn't fucking treat them that way, and then also they shouldn't expect special treatment. They should not, because that's also going to create the resentment that then leads to them being treated poorly. So we need to just work on both sides together, team effort here. And that's what I ultimately want to say with the show. But the way I'm going to do it is going to be through highly irreverent humor that refuses to take any of it serious. So that's that show. And I haven't thought of the name for it yet, but we'll come up with something. And this is my reach out. Reach out. I was in the process of reaching out, and then it got shut off. Reaching out to other transgender individuals and to say, hey, come talk to me and be a part of this. Because I don't ever want to be the kind of artist that is like, I don't ever want to make a joke about something and then turn my back on it. That's what I won't do. And there are a lot of comedians who, I don't know, a lot. I'm actually projecting on one. And I don't even know if this is true because I haven't done my thorough research. But I saw something about they were making jokes about domestic abuse or whatever. And this woman was like trying to confront him about it. Like, hey, yo, like, let's just talk about like that you're making fun of domestic abuse. And he just wouldn't respond, just wouldn't engage at all. And I'm just like, maybe he has since, but at that time, like, why? Do you think it detracts from your comedy to actually have a serious conversation about the serious things that you are making jokes about? I do not think it takes away from your comedy as a comedian. I think it adds to it. Because it shows, I think, a greater sense of awareness of what we are doing as professionals in this industry of comedy. I think not facing serious issues and having conversations with the audience about the things that you're creating. I don't know. I think that's kind of cowardly. I'm probably going to do it one day, but I'm just saying that it's cowardly. I'm calling myself out in advance. That's really the key here. So anyways, what did we talk about today? We talked about boot camp show, and then we talk about getting transgender individuals in on the conversation, and then we talked about how powerful comedy is as a healing tool, as a therapy. Just at the end of the night, just like even just doing this. I mean, honestly, this is half for me, straight up, half for me. This is like therapy for me because I just talk my mind out. But then this is also it's therapy for me because I get to just be silly. I get to just talk about all this shit that I want to talk about in a serious way. But I smoke fucking weed and give myself the freedom to talk about it in a silly way. And it's just freeing. It's relaxing to do this, to just parody everything, to not take anything serious. To hear these serious things, like all these fucking boot-ass bitches in SOI who are making suicidal ideations. I hear these, it's like like super high levels of suicidal ideations in SOI. Like, you fucking disgusting pussies. You weak-ass motherfuckers. Get out. Get out. Honestly. Get the fuck out of the Marine Corps. Go. To even have that ideation because of hardship. Once you have signed that dotted line, right? Like, veteran community, that's one thing. There's a lot of very serious mental health things going on there. It's very serious. I mean, I'm still going to make a joke about it. But in the Marine Corps, like, if you're making suicidal ideations because you're experiencing hardship and just can't fucking push through the mental pain of the School of Infantry, then get the fuck out of the Marine Corps now. Oh my God, that's so disgusting. Shame on all of you motherfuckers. If you watch me unsub, I don't want to be associated with you. I'm sorry. This is you joined the Marine Corps, and you joined the infantry no less, and you're tapping and training? What? Is this because you fucking grew up on your cell phone and iPad? Because when, instead of disciplining you and holding you accountable, your parents just ignored you and gave you the iPad? Is this why you suck at life so bad? Is this why? I think it is. So just acknowledge that. You suck at life because you were raised poorly, because you were allowed to be immersed in this for your entire existence on this fucking planet. So yeah, your parents fucked up a little, but everything's fixable. It is. And I mean, just think, if not, then you guys are gonna fucking weed out your entire generation of fucking losers. That's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna weed yourselves out. And then we'll start afresh. We'll learn. We'll learn from that, all the pain from your fucking suicides. We'll learn from that, and then we'll be like, okay, we can't let that happen again. That fucking sucked. Lost a lot of fucking what could have been solid people. Clearly, I've been wanting to express this. Maybe that's what I was talking about. Just say shit. Just let it out. Part of the joy of comedy is that I can let these things out and just not be taken seriously. And if I am taken seriously, well then shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame. I think I'm done talking. Actually, no, I'm just starving to death. So, you guys have a great night. Talk about in the comments about, what you learned, what you didn't agree with. I'd love to hear what you thought about what you didn't agree with. I'll be sure to get on those. All right. I think I need to just fuck my hand with all the self-love up in this motherfucking neck. All right, stay up, y'all. Honestly, be good to each other in the comments. I don't like seeing the fighting. It's like, why? It's stupid. Be cool. Have fun. Let's all party. Later.